We want to solve the given equations. Our first equation is 4/7 x equals 12. The solution is the value of the variable that satisfies the equation or makes the equation true. To solve, we need to isolate x. And since 4/7 x means 4/7 times x, to solve for x we need to undo the multiplication by dividing both sides by 4/7. But remember, dividing by a fraction is equivalent to multiplying by the reciprocal. And therefore, instead of dividing both sides of the equation by 4/7, we will multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 4/7, which is 7/4. And now on the left, we are multiplying reciprocals. The product is 28/8, which is equal to 1, and 1 times x is x. If we want, we can show the simplification before multiplying. Notice there's a common factor of 7, as well as a common factor of 4 between the numerators and denominators. Simplifying, 7 divided by 7 simplifies to 1 here as well as here, and 4 divided by 4 simplifies to 1 here and here, again giving us 1 times 1 times x, which is x. And now on the right side, let's write 12 as a fraction with the denominator of 1. And notice how we can simplify before multiplying. There's a common factor of 4 between 4 and 12. Simplifying, 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3, and 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1. Notice now we just have 7 times 3, which is 21. The solution is x equals 21. Which means if we substitute 21 back into the original equation, it will satisfy the equation. And let's go ahead and check this on the calculator. If we substitute 21 for x, we have 4/7 times 21, which notice is equal to 12, and therefore our solution is correct. Next, we have x divided by -4 equals 9. In order to solve for x, we need to isolate x, which means we need to undo dividing by -4. The opposite operation of dividing by -4 is to multiply by -4. And therefore, we will multiply both sides of the equation by -4. On the left, let's write -4 as a fraction with the denominator of 1. Multiplying by -4 undoes the division by -4. Or again, if we want to show the simplifying, we have a common factor of 4 between the numerator and denominator. 4 divided by 4 simplifies to 1 here as well as here. But notice how these are really negative ones. Either way, this simplifies to 1 times x, which is x. On the right, -4 times 9 is -36. The solution is x equals -36. And to check, if we substitute -36 for x back into the original equation, we have -36 divided by -4, which is equal to +9. Let's look at our next two examples. Next, we have 7/8 x equals -9/2. Since 7/8 x equals 7/8 times x, we're probably thinking we should divide both sides by 7/8. However, instead, we'll multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 7/8, which is 8/7. On the left, again, we're multiplying reciprocals, and therefore this is just 1 times x, which is x. Or again, showing the simplification, simplifying out the common factors of 8. 8 divided by 8 simplifies to 1 here as well as here. And then for the common factor of 7, 7 divided by 7 simplifies to 1 here as well as here. 1 times x is x. On the right, before multiplying, notice how 8 and 2 share a common factor of 2. Simplifying out the common factor of 2, 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. Multiplying, notice how we have -36/7, and therefore x equals -36/7 is the solution. And again, let's go ahead and check this. If we substitute -36/7 for x, we have 7/8 times -36/7. Enter. Notice this gives us -4.5, which is -9/2, or we can convert to a fraction by pressing Math, Enter, Enter. And for our last example, we have negative 8/9 x equals negative 64. Again, instead of dividing both sides by negative 8/9, we will multiply both sides by the reciprocal of negative 9/8. Multiplying on the left, we have 72/72 x, which is 1x, or simplifying, we have a common factor of 9 as well as a common factor of 8 between the numerators and denominators. 9 divided by 9 simplifies to 1 here as well as here. Just keep in mind this is really negative 1 because of the negative sign here. And 8 divided by 8 simplifies to 1 here as well as here. And again, this is really negative 1. So we have negative 1 times x, which is x. On the right, let's write negative 64 as a fraction with a denominator of 1. Simplifying before multiplying, we have a common factor of 8 between 64 and 8. Simplifying, 8 divided by 8 simplifies to 1. 64 divided by 8 simplifies to 8. But again, this is really negative 8 because of the negative sign here. So on the right side, we have negative 9 times negative 8, which is positive 72. X equals 72 is the solution. But once again, let's go ahead and check this. Substituting 72 for x on the left, we have negative 8/9 times 72, which notice is equal to negative 64. I hope you found this helpful.